Hello, welcome aboard. Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench. And here we have a review of this brand new kit. This has only just come in the country this week. And this is the brand new C-130H Hercules, Fat Albert, whatever you want to call her, from Great Wall Hobby. And she's in 1/144 scale. Kit number is L1011. And as you can see, we've got a lovely box art there of a C-130 with the 8-bladed props coming in to land. And you've got another C-130 down here with the 4-bladed props. That's why they're calling this a 2-in-1. You can do it with the 4-blade or the 8-blade. And this is the H, not the J. I'm sure there will be a J coming. I'm sure there will be a gunship. I'm sure there'll be many variants. But it looks like a beautiful little kit. We did have a very quick look at it yesterday. But today is a proper review. So here we have on the side here, we've got the one version with the 8-bladed props. And that's from the 186th Airlift Squadron, National Guard 2023. And then this one is from the 96th Airlift Squadron, and they're from the Air Force Reserve Command 2006. So if you want to go for the old one or the newer one, you've got the decals and the props and bits and pieces to do either. So that's really nice. End of the box art, yeah, is the same as the front. And then here you can see we've got on the side here, there's another option, 2022. It's not showing which one. Looks like it's got the 8-bladed props. So there we go. That's the 187th Airlift Squadron. That was 186th. Right. So here we've got lovely decals, wing walkways and everything. Probably better off painting those. So we've got decal A, decal B. We've got a metal weight, obviously, for the nose and some masks. So everything we need is in the box, hopefully, other than glue and paint. So what have we got here? We have a box crammed full of plastic. I'm going to put the overhead light on now because we had all the glossiness before. So there's our wings, fuselage, tail planes and rear end and everything. We've got some fuel tanks and all our interior. Looks like a beautifully detailed interior. We've got props there. There's our 8-bladed props with spinners. And then we've got our engines. And there's the top of the fuselage there. So we'll have a good look at all that in a minute. Obviously that's going to be clear parts. So that's really nice. As I say, we have had a quick look at this. We got here with some additions and corrections, and we've got our decal sheets in there. It looks like, no, I thought we might have had 2 decal sheets. Yes, we have. We've got 2 large decal sheets, so they've accidentally given us 2 by the look of it. So here we have the colour callouts, as usual with Great Wall Hobby, beautifully done on a nice big sort of A3 size sheet. So we've got the 3 options there, so that's quite attractive with that art on the tail. And we've got another one here with the art on the tail, which is nice. And then here we've got the, sorry, I whacked the camera then, sorry guys. We've got the undercarriage detail, and we have all the stencil detail and everything here. So there we go, we've got more decal sheets here. So we've got A, B and C and B. So this is only for the version B. So they're the slime lights. So there we go. That's that one. And then here we have, in the bottom of the box, we have the instructions. And in the instructions, I think didn't I put it in the instruction manual? I think we should have some photo etch or something in here. I thought I put it in there. It must have been on another kit. Oh no, it was on the Land Rover, wasn't it? Sorry, the Land Rover. So here we go. Typical Great Wall Hobby. They've given us the parts call out is on a separate sheet, which is always handy, because if you're a sort of person that uses these, then you can have it off to the side and have it there to look at, rather than having it as part of the instructions. Here we've got our colour callouts. All the colour callouts are in, it says they're in Viejo, but they're not. We've got here the C. These are the C codes. If you're not familiar with Mr. Hobby, these are the C colours, which are the Mr. Colour. And then you have the H, which is the Mr. Hobby Aqueous. So what you'll have to do is have a look at their website or something and cross-reference these to whichever paints you want to use. You can see here we've got the FS numbers, which is great. So that's really good. It says here we've got acrylics, Viejo, but they don't have any Viejo colours down there. So there we are. So that's our sprue callouts. So we can see here in our instructions, let's have a look at the instructions first, going straight into step 1, and we're starting with the interior. So it's very much like a helicopter, this kit. We're actually building up the interior C-130H internal, that's your colour, so it's going to be like a light grey. Nice to see we've got colour call outs. We've got doors being fitted here. It looks like we also have open doors in the fuselage, so you may choose to have these doors open if you want to. We shall see. So there we go, we've got the bulkhead going on there, and we've got a weight being added there to the back of that bulkhead, the front of that bulkhead for our nose. So make sure you get that glued on nice and securely. You don't want that falling off and rattling around in your model. Then we've got to drill some holes. So we've got some holes to drill, and they're telling us for only painting scheme A and B. And then we've got here again, only scheme A and B. And it looks like we've got some holes to be drilled around here, and that's going to be for every option. And then here it's asking us to scrape off the red convex lines. They're obviously the raised areas for the slime lights if you're doing version A or C, but if you're doing version B, then you're going to leave those in place. And there are your markings out for your slime lines. We've got some windows going in here internally. So luckily we've got some masks, so we can put those in now and then mask them for the paint job, which will be coming later. We have a very, very simple cockpit, obviously because you're not going to see any of it because the windows are tiny. So we've got a very, very simplified cockpit. We've got our nose gear bay there, and we're going to bring all that together inside the fuselage. We've got some holes to drill here, no matter what version we're doing. We've got holes to be drilled. So that's the belly and that's the roof. So we're going to add the roof, add the belly. You can see how it's all going. They're showing us how it fits, and hopefully it'll all fit together beautifully, and that'll be a nice job well done. So we've got masking stickers. Please apply before painting masking sticker. There we go. So we've got masks to go on there. You might not want to fit those yet because you might want to do some sanding and blending, whatever. If you catch them with your sander, you ruin your masks. Tail planes going on, and then we've got a separate rudder, which is a nice touch. Simplified undercarriage going together. Simplified because you're not really going to see any of it. And then we've got the rear hatch going in. We've got a rear roof. That's the rear part of the hatch. That part goes up, that part comes down to allow taller loads to go in. And then if we're doing it in the closed, this is in the open position, and if we're doing it in the closed position with all their undercarriage up and everything, this is what we're going to do. So we do have the option to close up everything and have it all on a stand, but you don't have any pilot figures or anything, so bear that in mind if you're going for an in-flight look. We've got some greeblies being added onto the back there. That's chaff dispensers, isn't it, I think? Or it might be exhaust for the APU, I'm not sure. And then here we've got some little ducts and antenna and bits and pieces going on. And then we've got E1 only for painting schemes A and B. So it's very, very clear going through the instructions what's what. And then here we've got some more little bits and pieces going on. So we've got different antenna for the different schemes, so they've really gone to town and thought this through. And then we've got another great big piece there, that's only for schemes A and B. That probably is an APU exhaust or something there. Dame here, oh, it's going to be some sort of radar array, something like that, ECM or something like that. And then we've got some ducting going in there. We've got a door going in the side here, again with some glazing in it. We've got some little pitot tubes there and there. So lots of little tiny greeblies going on. Then we're going to build up the engines. So we've got A, B, C, D. So they're giving us, instead of just saying do 4, so they're actually all individual parts. So be careful not to get them mixed up. They're all different, as you can see. They've all got their own number. So we're adding the front of the engine with the intake, and then we're adding the spinner and the prop. And then if you're going for this is only for scheme C, right, okay. So this is only for scheme A and B. So A and B has the 8-bladed props, scheme C has the floor-bladed props, so there you go. And then we've got our wing tanks going on, bringing the wing halves together. Looks like the trailing edge is separate. I'm not sure if it is. No, it's not. Hang on, I thought it looked like the wing was smaller, but it's not. So that's all going together. And then we're going to bring the engines and the wing tanks on. And then you've got the same here. So this is only for schemes A and B. And then going over the page, we've got for scheme C, you've got the 4-bladed propellers. Are the engine nacelles the same? H6, H7, yes they are. Are the intakes the same? Yes they are. So the spinners are different, and that part there is the same, the actual part that's holding it in. the exhausts are the same, and the air outlet there is the same. So the engines are the same, it's just literally the props that are different. And then here we got our masking stickers going on, adding on the wings, and then we're ready for some major painting. So you may wish to leave the undercarriage off, leave the props off, and then come back and do all that later after you've done the painting. But you'll work it out, I'm sure. And then we've got more masks going on here. Why are they telling us to put masks on there? Okay, so this is for what they're showing us here. This is the wings with the 4-bladed props. These are the wings with the 8-bladed props. So they're giving us a separate sheet for Scheme C. So there we go. So that's the instructions. Very nice artwork. Beautifully done. Let's have a look at the kit. So we've got a little bag here with some decals and everything. This kit is currently available from Tiger Hobbies. I'll put a link in the description below the video and you can go over and have a look. Get yourself one ordered. So very, very nice. So we've got masks here by Galaxy Model. You can see they're absolutely tiny and there's lots of them. So that's really nice. Here's our Scheme B. So these are our slime lights for the B scheme. So very nice. This sort of I've heard before, I've mentioned this before in my Tomcat review, I've heard that the Great Wall Hobby decals can be quite thick, but they don't feel that thick and they're not all glossy and everything, so they might be okay actually. We shall see. There's a correction there to add to the instructions, so make sure you bear that in mind. Don't go drilling that hole on the wrong side. I think they tell us to drill that hole rather than that one. Yeah, the trouble is now, it says here additions and corrections. Do we drill that hole as well? Or do we only drill it on that side? We'll have to have a look at the instructions and work that one out. We did have 2 decal sheets, but it wasn't by mistake. These are our wing walks. Okay, so we've got our walkways and everything here. Wyoming air guard, there's some little red warnings there. That's probably for the props or something. So that's all very, very nice. And then we have here, we have our decals for everything else. So it's all sort of low vis, very, very subtle. But you've got a little bit of colour here in that tail there. There's a little badge there as well. So yeah, very nice indeed. Let me know in the comments what you think of Great Wall Hobby decals. I've never used them. I don't think I've ever used Great Wall Hobby decals. I'm not sure what they're like, but I remember Doug's Models did a Great Wall Hobby C-130H, was it? And I think it was a Chinese variant of it. But no, he did the Kitty Hawk Chinese variant one, didn't he? But I remember him saying that the Great Wall Hobby decals weren't very user friendly. But I think that was years ago. Things could have changed. So in this box we have our clear parts. So there we go. We've got our clear parts in there. So we've got a canopy, which is very nice indeed. What we'll do is we'll have a look at this. We'll get this open. Stapled bags, I hate them. Why do you use staples on your bags? Please, get out. Oh, come on. Sorry, guys. Oh, I sucked this all back on now. Right. So there we go. You can see there. That's beautiful, actually. We'll put something behind it. You can see there. Looking through, it's gorgeous. It's nice that they've made it in one piece. You haven't got silly little windows to put in. You can just glue that in, deal with the seams, and then mask off, and you've got your glazing there beautifully done. But don't forget, when you paint it the colour of the interior first. Otherwise, you'll see the dark grey through the inside. But we've got tiny little lights on here. We've got tiny little windows. Very nicely done. And the windows have thoughtfully got like a D-shaped backing on them, so you get them in the right orientation, because they're going to have a curve to them. So that's really well thought out, Great Wall Hobby. Thank you for that. Make sure that staple's not in there. No, it's gone, isn't it? And then in here we have our little metal weight for the nose. Anything else in there? Nope. So that metal weight in there, I'm going to leave that out. I don't want that rattling around with those clear parts. So there we go. So that's our clear parts. We'll put them back in their protective box. 10 out of 10 for packaging here, Great Wall, well done. In fact, I will put that back in there, it'll be okay. It's not like it's going to be taking the box out on a parade or anything, is it? Let's move this box out of the way. Right, so what have we got here? We have first sprue. Again, a stapled bag, which is a shame. Right, so we got a first sprue here, which is sprue H. Yeah, C-130. So there's no mention of C-130H, so we're going to have others coming. So here we've got the upper part of the fuselage. We've got that drip rail there, which is nice. And there's the belly. And this is where they're telling us to drill those holes. So we've got to work out if it's both sides or just one side. We've got these pods here that are going on the sides. Engine intakes, which are very nicely done, very crisp, very sharp. And then we've got our spinners there with their backings for the four-bladed props. And then where we've got our four-bladed props there, they're gorgeous, those props. Look at those. Beautifully done. Very slim blades. Really nice. Very nice indeed. And we have got engraved panel lines. You can see this swirl mark on here. You can't feel it. It's just the plastic where it's flowed through. But you can see we do have panel lines. And they're engraved. They're probably too heavy for the scale. But, okay, sorry guys, battery ran out there, so I just had to edit this in. So here we've got our little sprue of antenna and everything. And they are absolutely gorgeous. Look at these little pitot tubes in there. Beautiful. They're going to look stunning on there. Very, very nice. So we'll put that back in its bag. Very nice indeed. It's built into a beautiful little model, this one. Okay, so there's that sprue H. And then next out the box we've got this one here, which is our 8-bladed props. They're very nice. So you can see here, these are absolutely gorgeous. They're really slender. Beautifully done. We've got our dedicated spinners there and the back plates there as well. So yeah, beautifully done. Really, really nice. Unfortunately, it's designed the same as that Lancaster that I'm building from Airfix, where you have to put the propellers on. So you may want to do some jiggery pokery and change it about a bit. But you don't really want the props on there before you start painting the wings, do you? So, but there we go. It is what it is. I'd rather they had a poly cap in the, in the engine intake, and then you just push the props in after when you're done. That would make a lot more sense. Or even just put a longer shaft on there so you can just put them in. But yeah, there we go. It is what it is. Right, so next sprue out of the box is this one here, which is sprue C. So sprue C is basically our wing tanks. You can see on here. They're in halves, so you'll have some sanding to do. Very heavy panel lining on those. So they might want to be toned down a bit. So heavy coat of primer and then sand it back. And then here we've got the interior. So we've got the roof. So we've got the padding there, which over the wing spars. And then we've got all the plumbing and pipe work there. Here we've got the floor with all the tie downs. Bear in mind, guys, this is 1/144 scale, so it's going to be simplified. And then here we've got the interior sidewalls. It looks like we've got the padding on there. We've got the sort of, the flaring going into the windows to imitate the padding. And then we've got our main wheels there. Internal doors. And then there's the bulkhead up at the front. And our weight is going to glue into there. So might want to put a bit of plastic card or something over it just to make sure the weight doesn't come loose. Or maybe it'll be held in by the cockpit. I'm not exactly sure. Until you actually get to start putting it together, these are the sort of things you wouldn't know. So that's sprue C. So yeah, nice to note the tyres have got weight on wheels as well. So that's a nice touch. Next out the box we have more interior parts here. This is sprue D. So here we go with this one. Make sure we don't have staples flying around when we've got puppies about. So there's our lovely internal cargo area there, you can see. So if you do decide to have it with the cargo bay down, there you go. Yes, that's what you'll see inside, so that's very nice. That's better than some of the larger scale kits, isn't it? Got a rudder there, gear bay doors. There's our main undercarriage legs, and then here's the rear access. That's the bit that comes down. That's the floor, and that's the piece that goes up. So that's going to go up into the roof. There's our nose there. Tail planes. We've got some tiny little shafts there. No doubt that's the pistons for the rear door coming down. And then we've got some air intakes there. And then there's the nose gear doors there. Very nice, isn't it? They've got the little strakes, as you call them, on the nose as well, which is very nice. So the way they've done that with the separate nose would indicate we're going to be getting different variants as well. So that's worth noting. Just wondering actually if on the prop sprue they've put C-130H. Haha! Right. Just noticed something here. It proves we're going to have others. Look at that on there. If you can see that, it says C-130J. So we're going to be getting a J. You see, this one just says C-130. All the others just say C-130, so they can obviously share sprues. So there we go. So there's our fuselage halves, which are lovely. The interior detail doesn't matter, although they're very clean inside, but it doesn't matter. Basically because the we've got a full interior like a helicopter. I've just noticed something else as well. So there's our cockpit, which is moulded in one. Very nice indeed for a little 144 scale cockpit. We've got our nose wheel there, again weight on wheels. We've got our nose gear bay, and then we've got some side entrance door. There's the pods that are going to go on the front of the sponsons on the side. So that would also indicate we're going to be getting different variants. We've got posts there for the wing to mount on. Remember, we've got a separate piece going over the top. We've got that drip rail there. I assume that's what it is. Or maybe this might be a stiffener. But yeah, beautifully done. As I say, panel lining, very crisp, very sharp. There's no sink marks or anything. It's beautifully done. The panel lining is heavy, but you know, it's once it's got that grey paint on it, I think it's going to look absolutely stunning. Really, really nice. You can see the panel lining there on the fuselage. It's beautiful. Really is nice. I've just noticed something that's making me very happy. We've got this circular cutout here, and I'm assuming that's going to be for a great big gun. Or did it go back here? I can't remember now. But yeah, that's going to be a nice touch. Haha. I hope they do a gunship. I do love a C-130 gunship. So there we are. That's our fuselage. Really, really nice. And then finally out of the box, final sprue, if I can pick it up. Again, we have a stapled bag. So here are our wings, which are gorgeous. So here you can see upper surfaces of the wings. We've got the front of the engines on this. Hopefully we get a nice seam there. We've got some holes in the wings there, obviously for greeblies to go on. Little trailing aerial there. Again, panel lining over the top, but very nice. You've got the ailerons nicely depicted there. And then here on the undersides, we've got these vents on the back of the engines. Got the great big square locations there for our wing pods. Nice to see you've got the wing tips moulded as one, so you won't have to worry about the seam on the end. Yeah, beautifully done. Beautifully done. Ailerons are heavily moulded on the bottom, so they're going to look well separate. Beautifully done. Again, we've just got C-130, so we're going to be we're going to be getting different variants for sure. Those wings are, yeah, they're beautifully molded. They're nice and straight and everything. No, I've not seen any sign of any sinkage anywhere. No sign of any flash. No silly ejector pins. So yeah, on the whole, beautiful. So there we go, guys. That's our C-130H from Great Wall Hobby in 1/44 scale. So don't forget, you've got your options here. You've got your 3 options there. So you've got, this one's got the 8-bladed props, this one's got the 8-bladed props and the slime lights, and this one's got 4-bladed props. So here we go. This one's back from 2006, and these are 2. You know, this one's 2 years ago, this one's 3 years ago. So very, very recent. This one's also got the black nose, and I think really this one here would be the one to go for, because you've got the slime lights, which are very attractive. You've got the 8-bladed props, which look great. You've got this lovely tail art, and you've got the black nose, which looks great as well. So yeah, very nice indeed. Very, very nice. This one's also got the radar, whatever it is, on the sides. Choices, choices, choices. So there we are. Great Wall Hobby C-130H L1011. Get yourself on over to Tiger Hobbies and order yourself one. You'll be glad you did. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.